This is the Mystery Tackle Box Elite for December. Let's crack it open. Happy Dance. Hashtag Mystery Tackle Box. Hashtag MTB Elite. Hashtag Happy Fishing. Remember to catch, measure, and win. Tag hashtag MTB Keeper. This gives you the length requirements and all that fun stuff. The dibble. The What's Inside card. Got a Strike Pro swim bait. That's awesome. A spinner bait. That's awesome. Ooh, jig rig. This is the new. That's a new trend. That's pretty cool. Deep diving crankbait called the Vixen. A Bagley crankbait. A Duo Realis spy bait, spin bait. Some Lunker City worms and a sticker. Let's dive in a little deeper. First up is the Duo International or Duo Realis. I don't know what the difference is, but this is the spin bait slash spy bait. It's a very finesse technique. Very good this time of year. If you got some clear water, this is a very natural color. That's pretty cool. I actually just got one of these 2 months ago in the last box from them. This is the Spin 80. This is the spinning setup model. The other one was a 90, so it was more for a bait casting setup, but still the same lure. I don't mind them because I love them. I've got quite a few. This 3/8 inch, 3/8 ounce. The color is Wakasagi or Kamuchi Wakasagi. These things are just flat out fish catching machines. You load up beside a school of fish, cast it out so you don't have to get on top of the school. You're using spinning gear, so throw 6-pound test to 8-pound test and just let it, either you can throw it, let it sink and then wind it at whatever depth, or if you're fishing 40-50 feet, you cast it out, you can let it pendulum back to you, slowly winding it. This has got a real tight wobble. These blades spin. A lot of people think these are top water, but they're not. It spins underwater. But they spin so fast that you almost can't see it while they're going through the water. You think nothing's happening. They're such high quality. But that little wobble and those blades spinning, they get smashed. Next up is this swim bait by Strike Pro called the... Dang, what is this called? I don't know. The color is Gill Raker, or maybe that's the name of the bait, but it's got sticky hooks. Ouch. It's 1 ounce. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. It's gonna have really good action in the water. And the cool thing about this, it's sinking. Most of these are floating or suspending. They're not sinking. Sinking swim baits are phenomenal for the wintertime and the summertime. Lets you get down deep enough to get those fish that are at the bottom where nobody else is fishing. You know, a lot of people burning swim baits on top water, think like a glide bait. This one, you cast it out, count it down to whatever depth you want it, and then slowly wind it back. You can switch it here and there, that way it comes out acting funky or acting wounded, and then you're good to go. On this one, I would use a lower gear ratio. I like 6:3 to 1. A lot of people like 5:6 to 1. It's really your preference. You go with I have a heavy action rod that I throw almost all my swim baits on. It's very moderate. It has a lot of parabolic action in the tip. With this, I would throw probably 20 to 25 pound test fluoro. I normally like to throw braid, but I would throw fluoro just because it's sinking. It's hard to get braid to sink. One of the best things about Strike Pro is the fact that they give you 2 freaking tails. So once yours gets bit off or it dry rots or whatever, you have a replacement. That is, I give them so much props for that. That's phenomenal. So much props, I guess that's the right way to say it, but I love them for that. Next is the Bagley Diving B1. It's a little crankbait. It is, well, there it tells you what to use. 10 to 15 pound test, 6 to 10 foot deep. I don't see the weight on it, though. 5/16 ounce says it dives 7 to 8 foot, but the back of the box says it dives 6 to 10 feet. Either way, I would throw anywhere from 10 to 14 pound test, depending on where I'm throwing it. These are balsa wood, so they get different action underneath the water, so they're a little different than the regular plastic baits. I love all of Bagley stuff, really. They run good, they run true, good action, they last. Most of them are hand painted, handmade, so they come with really good hooks too. You don't have to worry about changing them out. They're quality. This color's pretty quality too, very natural, but still has enough stand out-ish colors for them to react to it. Sorry, I have a deer blowing at me and it's driving me crazy. I'm at my house and it's mad at me for being here. Next up is the Owner Jig Rig. Hold on. So this is it. It comes with a 3/0 hook. It's got a little 3/16 ounce weight. Kind of looks like a drop shot weight. This is a swim bait hook too, so you can either use like little shad or minnow style baits. It's got the screw lock, so you don't thread it completely through. You thread your lure onto that and then put the hook through. And what it does is this sits on the bottom, and then it helps the weight or the lure stay down. Looks like either a shad pecking, eating off the bottom, or something dying. I personally like to use this on crawl baits because it lets it sit there and then it rolls while they're there, so it gives it a lot of action without you having to move the rod too much. It's a really good finesse style presentation. It's very similar to the Mojo rig, which is like a weighted drop shot rig, but you just don't have the leader in between the hook and the weight. You can put really any kind of lure on this. A lot of fluke and, like I said, shad imitators, but even the little boot tail swim baits work good because as this rolls, it thumps and gives off a lot of action. I've used Kitex on them a lot. I had a lot of luck with these. I throw this a lot. I think some people call it the Jaker rig or Jeker rig or something. I can't remember the other name for it, but it gets bit. Don't be afraid to throw this. This is the Vexen Fat Boy 12. So this one dives 12 feet. It's got a lot of rattles in it. The color's super sick. I love that. It's 3/4 of an ounce. It seems to have really good hooks, and I'm stoked. The color on it's called Golden Shiner, but I'll be throwing this from that 8 to 10 foot deep range, using anywhere from 10 to 14 pound test. Probably more like 12 to 15 pound test, honestly. I don't throw 10 pound too much on these deeper diving cranks unless the bite's super tough. But I would use my heavier setup on these. The other crankbait by Bagley, I would definitely use a very small crankbait rod, but this one I would use my 7.2 medium heavy cranking rod. This should get smashed. I love this color. I've never really heard of this company, but this color should get smashed. Again, same kind of reel, 6.3 to 1 all the way up to 7.1 to 1, depending on how you want to fish it. Sometimes I like to go with a little faster reel with deep stuff because you can get it down faster and you can make it jump by turning the handle really fast. But again, Vexen dives 12 foot, Fat Boy, pretty cool lure. Next up is the Catch Coast spinnerbait that has mustad hooks. It is 3/8 ounce, color is gray shad. I thought I'd already received something similar to this, maybe not though. I love how they package these. They staple them to the bag, to the paper, so it stays on. You don't have to worry about it getting all out of whack and messed up and bent and busted, so that's cool. I throw these on probably the same exact thing that I would throw that deep diving crankbait on. 7.2, medium heavy, moderate, parabolic. It has a very lot of it has a lot of parabolic action, so I like it a lot for most of the moving baits that I throw, and especially bigger treble hook baits. But this should get smashed. It's that time of year where they'll move if they think they're gonna get 2 or 3 shad versus just 1 little shad. So don't be scared of throwing these, slow rolling them, letting them ding and cling off the bottom. The more spin and action and banging off the bottom you get, the more likely you are to get one of these monsters to come up and react, and whenever it's freezing cold outside. Next up is a Lunker City Swimming Ripster 4-inch green pumpkin. It's almost like a little Kitech or something, but it seems like it would be a lot more durable. This would be perfect for this little rig right here. You could use it on there, and it's so thin at the tail, it would just any little movement to get a lot of action off. So that'd be a good combo. Or you can Texas rig them, throw them on a little belly weighted swim bait, or one of my other favorites is a underspin. I personally throw a lot of cool bait underspins, trying some other ones out, but I've had a lot of luck with cool bait. So if you know of any other good ones, let me know. But this is the December box again, and I hope everybody has a great Christmas. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Have a happy New Year. Stay safe, be blessed, tight lines.